You've got to wear your school
I
uniform.
think our school uniform is quite sophisticated and posh though, so I think and the reason we chose our school uniform is because say if someone needed help, like directions to the toilet or somewhere like that, they would come to us because they see that we're in uniform and obviously see that we're putting on the event, so that's partly why as well.
No, good point.
We've had to make loads of different decisions, and some people haven't really agreed on them, but we had to talk about it and discuss like the good and bad things, and we had to basically agree on something that everybody would be happy with, and that was like choosing the act and the prices of the tickets and stuff like that.
Started out very quiet and a bit nervous and not really knowing what to say or who to say it to or when to express a genuine opinion. But I think they've loosened up and come together as a group a little bit.
I was happy, smiley and approachable so that if anyone didn't understand something, they could ask me. So, for example, Ewan, you're going to introduce what we're doing.
I'm at the door, so I'm going to be introducing people to like where they need to go and everything, and I'll be handing out leaflets and things like that.
At first I think we're feeling a bit nervous, thinking that no one's going to turn up, but then as soon as people started arriving we sold I think 12 tickets in like 5 minutes, and now we've got quite a few people in there. So
How are you feeling about performing?
at first again I was feeling really nervous, but we've just done a rehearsal for all the songs and we're fine now.
Not so confident talking to other people, and then throughout I started saying good evening and everything and pointing stuff out a bit better.
The young people have been brilliant. It's very easy when you start a project like this to just take over yourself or say, no, this is how you do it. And there has been times where they keep coming back to myself or the teaching staff and say, what about this, what about that? But you just have to be quite adamant and say, well, this is your show, it's down to you.
It's Sunrise Fire. Scary. I forgot what I was supposed to say.
I thought it was good.
Thank you.
The hardest thing I've had to do is, for me, is remembering what I needed to do, when I needed to do it by, and how I was going to go about doing it, with the float and getting the tickets printed and stuff, because I chose the ticket colour and got them printed off really from our student support, and that was the hardest sort of thing, because for me remembering is not very good.
On behalf of the Year 11 Arts Awards students, we'd like to welcome you to Viva La Vintage.
So we went to the showcase and saw the acts, and then we reviewed them, and then when we got back to our first session with Rebecca, we sat down and looked at the pros and cons of all three of the acts and what we could kind of do with the night, because we really liked the Bojangles, but we thought they'd be a lot harder to market than what these would be, because we thought we'd be able to make a bigger night out of it as a whole. And then and we've kind of, after a few last weeks, we've been kind of doing how we're going to sell the tickets and good customer service and things like that.
Performing at the Albert Hall in 1 month's time, but tonight they're at the Ormiston Sudbury Academy.
The FB Pocket Orchestra!
They're probably better than we would get at a lot of venues. They've been brilliant. Emails beforehand asking us what we would like, helping us with our gear. They've been brilliant.
Doing it because the Pocket Orchestra, they are a jazz, vintage kind of old-fashioned kind of band, and we're setting it the Second World War, at the end of it, when they had the celebration about the victory of the Second World War.
We had to decide how much we were going to spend, how much we had to spend, and we had to decide because we chose to have a time with VE Day because VE Day's on the 8th and our event is on the 9th. So we had to decide things like that, and then we decided on a vintage theme because of the actual band.
You have to just slide these up to see how high you want the light, or you can just slide this off. That's completely off. So for this one, this is the Grandmaster.
So you could turn the music up really loud now.
Yes.
I think they've learnt real teamwork. I think they've learned that everyone has to play a part, and that, you know, when things aren't working they all chip in, but otherwise people have roles. So they've learned that there are ways and means sometimes of getting what you want. So brilliant.
But how many have physically given you money today?
One person didn't give us money. It was the British League.
She's already paid.
Yeah.
It's not a paper exercise, it's not a classroom simulation, it's you're really going to do it, it's going to happen, these people are coming and you're responsible. It's because as soon as you open the doors and you invite people in, then you're saying this isn't just a school, it is essential for the community and you can join it.
That's all for now. So without further ado, it's a great honour to introduce the FB Pocket Orchestra.
We've learned some amazing skills, and we had to get on together over the weeks, because at the start it was just everyone kept messing around. So.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah. When I came in, I was just like, I didn't expect to see so many people. So when I came in, it was just like a burst of proudness, and I was really overwhelmed by how many people were there.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Trying to work as a team, that's been quite hard, because sometimes some of the group doesn't want to work as a team and they want to do their own separate thing, which can be annoying at times, but then sometimes it helps out because there's loads of different ideas in the group.
I think the hardest thing so far was when we had to come to agreement of what we were going to range the prices at, because you don't really know what to range the prices at for something no one may have heard of.
Split into two groups, and you're going to take your own drums and make your own call and response beat.
Well, these are all the light decks. Basically, there's a few different rows of lights, and these are all the numbers for them. So you can dim them and make them brighter. And then there's one which controls all the lights, where you can just dim them, and then you can just get it to pitch black, and then they can get ready. Then you can set them back up.
Thank you.
Right, well, as soon as Dr. Black's here, we'll close up shop. When Miss Davis comes, we'll just have to creep in.
Well, did you find them, or did the school
It was as
find
a
them?
result of Creative Arts East that spoke to us.
Yes.
But then it was actually the pupils themselves
They
that
chose
chose who
that,
they
yeah.
wanted to work with.
£5 was ridiculous.
He said we got it wrong. Well, you need to blame the students, because
Yes,
they
of course I do,
decided on
yes.
everything.
It was electric all the way through.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I can't remember enjoying an evening so much, particularly